सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधकृष्णपादान् सहगणललितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। I will open my recap notes, Prabhu. 1 second. Okay, last week we did, we are in 15th chapter. We did verses 13, 14 and 15. So I'm just not seeing my notes. Since we are a little late, I'm just going to say whatever I remember, Prabhu. So 13th verse is about the how Krishna acts as a moon and provides the nourishment to the vegetables. 1 second, Prabhu, let me open it.
What color?
Pink Akshara. 1 second, Prabhu. Plans. Okay, so this verse talks about two things, Prabhu, like how Krishna enters into the planet, and because of Krishna's energy, he holds them in place. And then he acts, he nourishes the fruits vegetable by being a moon, prasad, the taste of moon. And if you say like, okay, that this one I did not understand, Prabhu. You also told a line saying that saliva on tongue is also water. Like that is also second kind. I did not understand that sentence, Prabhu. Why did you mention that
in the
line?
second chapter, not second chapter, I think in the 7th chapter, actually it says Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya.
Correct, Prabhu.
Rasa Aham Apsu. Apsu means water.
Water.
So I am the taste, Shri Prabhupada answers as I am the taste of water. Or rather, how can we taste something because of presence of water in the tongue?
Ah, okay.
So just the water is thing is fully dry. We can't taste anything. We won't be able to taste anything.
Right.
So when we two things, when we when we are feeling extremely thirsty and we drink water, that satisfaction we get. The taste of water, that's thirst of Krishna. And because of that water in the tongue, we can taste.
Taste the other food stuff's taste.
Yes, both.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, continuing on, and then we had like a Brahma Samhita quote reference, Andantarastha Paramanu, saying that, okay, how Bhagavan enters into each atom and then and also makes it float in the orbit itself. Here also you ask, you explain to us on the word Gam. Gam is like the earth. And then we quoted from the third canto Varahadev verse. So, like you said, like at the end, there are multiple stimulants, like few in 7th chapter, 9th chapter, 10th chapter, all, and now it is only pointing towards us to increase the remembrance of Krishna. That's the point. And then the 14th verse is like the Chaturvidha, no, not Chaturvidha. It's like I'm the fire of digestion. He is a fire of digestion. He engages with the breathing airs and helps in the digestion of the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. And he said, essential, like without sun, moon, and digestion, Krishna provides support, even acknowledged or not. These are the most necessary necessities of life. And you said like 3 things: inside the body, which is like the digestion fire; terrestrial, outside, as supplying nourishment for the vegetables; and terrestrial is the one that he makes the planet float in the orbit. And then you told about 4 kinds of foodstuffs: chewing, sipping, licking, and sucking. And then we had a discussion where we get this Chaturvida and Guru Ashtakam verse. And then we entered into 15th verse, which is where he explains that he is the source of everything. Um, no, no, he, no, no, the purpose of knowing the Vedas is to understand Krishna. That's what this verse talks about. If you don't have to know all the Vedas, but to understand the essence of the Vedas. So he said, like, you quoted a verse from second chapter, 46th verse, like how the small well uh, can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. And then from here, we went to into a discussion where South Indian Brahmin reading Bhagavad Gita upside down, saying that he is the one who actually knows the essence of the Vedas. He doesn't have to know, not have to read or anything. It was very nice, Prabhu. You read through the like couple of verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Um, he is situated in everyone's heart, and Krishna helps jivas to enjoy the world. Seeing someone and feel, oh yeah, these were just discussions, Prabhu. Then we had like a duty of Paramatma, Upadrishta Anumanta discussion. And then you said like there are 4 categories in Vedas: Brahman, Samhita, Aranya, and Upanishad. And like who talks about who is eligible to know which, and then who is Badarayana. We talked about that. And then at the end, also we had a discussion from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, where Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya he teaches the Vedantas to Brahmana. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started explaining this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 7 days. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not say anything, yes or no or nothing. He just listens. And then, and at the end, he would say, these, uh, uh, these explanations are just an agitations from your mind. I was hearing because you asked me to hear. So, when you give your heart to Srimad Bhagavatam, your life is successful. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedanta Sustra. That was the kind of end of discussion last week, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, I wanted to keep it as a gist, but I'm sorry, I went a
No,
little
no, no,
long.
no. Very nice. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful, as always. Very wonderful. Thank you so much. Ji.
Thank you,
It was
Prabhu.
very, very precise. I mean, crisp and very nice. Really. Thank
Yes, perfect. Perfecto. Okay. So, when 15th, we finished 15th verse of 15th chapter. Now we're entering into a different section of 15th chapter. Okay. So now Krishna will talk about the Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojan. Of Sambandha means what is the connection of Jiva, what is the process, and the goal. So 16, 17, 18, we talk about the relationship. 19, the process, Abhidaya, and 20th last verse will be the goal. Okay. So let's now Krishna will start with the 16th verse. So anyone like to read the 16th verse?
Prabhu, I'll read.
Okay, thank you.
16th is Sambandha, 17th is Avidaya, and
No,
19th
no,
is
16, 17, 18 Sambandha, 19 Abhidaya, and 20 Prayojan.
द्वौ इमं पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षरयुच्यते. Synonyms: Dvau, two, imau, these, Purushau, living entities, loke, in the world, Kshara, fallible, Cha, and Akshara, infallible, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Kshara, fallible, Sarvani, all, Bhutani, living entities, Kutastha, in oneness, Akshara, infallible, Uchyate, is said. There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, Every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. Purport. As already explained, the Lord in his incarnation as Vyasadeva compiled this Vedanta Sutra. Here, the Lord is giving in summary the contents of the Vedanta Sutra. He says that the living entities who are innumerable can be divided into two classes, the fallible and the infallible. The living entities are eternally separated parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When they are in contact with the material world, they are called Jiva Bhuta. And the Sanskrit words here given here, Akshara Sarvani Bhutani, means they are fallible. Those who are in oneness with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, are called infallible. Oneness does not mean they have no individuality, but there is no disunity. They are all agreeable to the purpose of the creation. Of course, in the spiritual world, there is no such thing as creation, but since the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra, is the source of all emanations, that conception is explained. According to the statement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, there are two classes of living entities. The Vedas give evidence of this, so there is no doubt about it. The living entities who are struggling in this world with the mind and five senses have their material bodies which are changing. As long as the living entity is conditioned, his body changes due to contact with matter. Matter is changing, so the living entity appears to be changing. But in the spiritual world, the body is not made of matter, therefore, there is no change. In the material world, the living entity undergoes six changes: birth, growth, duration, reproduction, then dwindling, and vanishing. These are the changes of the material body. But in the spiritual world, the body does not change. There is no old age, there is no birth, there is no death. There all exists, they all exist in oneness. Kshara Sarvani Bhutani, any living entity who has come in contact with matter, beginning from the first created being Brahma down to a small ant, is changing its body. Therefore, they are all infallible. In the spiritual world, however, they are always liberated in oneness. Hare Krishna.
Aisha, thank you so much. Okay, anything? Any thoughts? Anything? Here?
So when you say they are infallible, what exactly does it mean, Prabhu? I thought only Bhagavan is infallible.
All the living entities in spiritual world are infallible.
Which means they cannot make mistakes.
Not make mistakes, or they don't fall from their position. Fall मतलब गिरना, fall. Simple, right? The other meaning.
Okay.
That's not fall. Spiritual world.
Brahma is technically, I understand it's a position, but isn't he spiritual, Prabhu?
Shri Brahma.
Yeah.
So there are two or three kinds of Brahma. For example, so at one point, if a living entity is not present to take the position of Brahma, Bhagavan himself becomes Brahma. At
Yeah.
that time, yes. If
Okay.
not, then no.
Got it.
This is mentioned in Laghu Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Yeah. Brahma's body is not like our body, and not like our body, sure, yeah. But still comes as part of the material world. Yeah, anything else? Okay. Let's go to the verse. It says, Dvav imam purushav loke. Dvav means two. This Dvav imam purushav. This purushav means two. Dvivachan, right? So there are two kinds of purushas mentioned. Dvav imam purushav loke. Living entity, purushav. There are two kinds of living entities basically. Loke can mean world. Loke means in this world. It can mean. Shri Baldev Devbhushan says that Loka means that by which truth is perceived, lokyate, that by which we can know the truth. So in that way, loka means Vedas. So what Krishna is, so the connection the Acharya is mentioned here is, Krishna told, I know of the Vedas. So Krishna said, okay, so I'm going to summarize what is mentioned in the Vedas in with 3 verses, in very crux. The Badrayana, as Badrayana, what I mentioned in the Vedas, I'm going to summarize in a crux in 3 verses, at least for the Sambandha. That is mentioned in these 3 verses, we'll mention this. So, though more Purusha Loka in this world, it can, in this Lokam or in the Veda, there are 2 kinds of people mentioned. Or in this world, there are 2 kinds of people. Both can have, both interpretations are fine. And what are the 2 kinds of people? Kshara, Cha, and Akshara. So, Kshara means fallible, and Akshara means infallible. The Akshara, right? So, infallible means one doesn't fall, one doesn't make mistakes. Achyuta, what does it make? Doesn't fall. Infallible, Achyuta means infallible, right? Chut होना मतलब गिर जाना. Achyuta means one doesn't fall. So Kshara, Kshara, and Akshara. One who makes mistakes, one is there mixed with the material world, Kshara. So all the jivas in the material world are all Kshara. Akshara means they're all in the spiritual world, or they come in the material world from a particular purpose, but they're still Akshara. For example, for all the wonderful acharyas, all the stalwarts acharyas of our sampradaya, of other sampradaya also, in fact, right? They all come with specific purpose from the spiritual world. They're not like us. They will look like us, but they're not like us. So those living entities who come here for a particular purpose based on Bhagwan's direction, when they are Akshara, right? But we are Kshara. We are mixed with the material world. So we are Kshara. And Kshara Sarvani Bhutani. He says Kshara are who are the fallible? Sarva Bhutani. He just Krishna puts everything in one category. The entire world में जो भी है सब क्षर है. All the way till Shri Brahma, all the way to all the immovable beings. Sarva Bhutani. Everyone. Okay? And Akshara जो है, fallible, Kutastha. And though Kutastha means in one state. So, Shri Baldev Bhushan, 1 second. So, Amar Bhushan says, Kutastha means that is situated that which is situated in one form across all different time places. Who can that be? Person in spiritual world. Right? So, Kutastha, Shamuchate. Right? So, Kutastha. So, Kshara are those people, Sarvabhutani in the material world. And Akshara are Kutastha. They don't change at all. Material spiritual world में they don't grow old. They eternal. Pass with this. The time distinction is there, but it's immaterial. It's not that spiritual doesn't have time. Of course, there's time, but that time doesn't work the way it works here. There's no. What is the effect of time? To mention in the purport. Okay? The 6 changes, right? Birth, growth. So this, the Sanskrit word for this are jayate, born, asti, existence, right? Then vardhate, grows, vardhana. Then we have apakshiyate, viparinamate. Viparinamate means basically transformation, byproducts, right? Children, viparinamate. Apakshiyate, decay. Mriyate. Nashyati or mriyate. Dies. Jayate, asti, vardhate, viparinamate. Then we have apakshiyate and nashyati or mriyate, whatever. These are the Sanskrit terms for birth, growth, duration, reproduction, whatever, right? Propagation, purpose. These are the Sanskrit terms equivalent for that. So, so all the living beings, they are part of this. So in the material world, we will find all this stuff, all these things, which are in the spiritual world. Kutastha, they don't change. Krishna is the eternal form, the Gopas is the eternal form, Dwarka, Mathura, Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, wherever it takes place, any spiritual world, fixed. They don't decay, they don't grow old. There's no birth, there's no death, of course. Does it make sense? We can go to the purport. Okay. So those are in oneness with Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are called infallible. Oneness, because they are the same nature as Bhagavan. So oneness does not mean that they have no individuality. Okay. But there is no disunity. When the same thoughts, same inclination, same mood. With one mood, we can say they are one. Also, even though they are two different personalities, they are one. Right? The husband and wife are one unit. Right? Same goal. Everything is one unit. In that way, the oneness. They are all agreeable to the purpose of creation. Of course, spiritual world, there is no such thing as creation. Right? As in Veda Sutra, source of all liberation, the conception explained. Uh, so, what is the do you know who knows the Vedanta Sutra, where which mentioned everything comes from Bhagwan? Remember the sutra? If I tell that, we will know. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Sarvam kalvamidam Brahman.
No, that is Bhagwan is present everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay. Everything comes from Bhagwan.
Janmadasya taha.
Yeah. Okay. First starting verse of Bhagavatam.
Yes. जन्मादि अस्य यतः, जिससे जन्म सब कुछ जन्म हुआ है. जन्मादि अस्य यतः. So that is, and the Bhagavatam first जन्मादि से तो इतोन्मयादि इतस्तश्चातो. So that Bhagavatam starts like that. So that's one of the indication that इस वेदांत सूत्र का समराइजेशन उसमें दिया, स्टार्टिंग से चालू होता है इसमें. Begins with that, right? Okay. And then Vedas goes it next word. Vedas give evidence of this, that two kinds of living beings. There's no doubt about that. Right? So Aksharam is present in Upanishad, everywhere is there. Aksharam, Akshara. Fallible, infallible. Then, yeah, in spiritual world, they're always built upon this. Perfect. So the two kinds of living beings again, Kshara and Akshara. This is the crux of the Vedas mentioned by Sri Krishna. That I am the Vedavit. I am telling you in summary, but essence is Sambandha. That living entity is Jiva in the material world is Kshara, in spiritual world also living entity is the Akshara. They don't follow. They two mean. And everything in the world is Kshara. Okay, any questions? Anything? Once, twice. Okay.
So still hasn't established our connection with Bhagwan, right? When you said Sambandha, I mean, 16, 17, 18, all three verses.
आएगा.
Okay.
Next verse में थोड़ा आएगा, एक बार आएगा.
Okay.
Krishna will talk about who Krishna is. He'll talk about that.
Okay.
It may not directly that Sambandha is already mentioned in the seventh verse. Mama Vamsha Jivuloke. Already did that. But saying that, there are two kinds of living beings mentioned. Basically, Mama was all with metal on this world are my parts and parcels. अच्छा, सब लोग यहीं पे वहाँ पे कुछ है इधर and beyond. Then Krishna saying, oh, there are two kinds of people. One here and there also. That makes sense?
Yeah.
The clarification.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Krishna. Next verse, 17th verse. You can go. This is, yeah, Krishna. 17th verse. I can read.
No, Prabhu is asking if Ramya wants to give it a try, or I can also read.
Oh, you can do.
Oh yeah, I can read it.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Then.
Thank you.
Okay. उत्तमपुरुषस्त्व अन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयम् आविश्य बिभर्ति अव्यय ईश्वरः. उत्तमः द बेस्ट, पुरुषः पर्सनालिटी तु, बट अन्यः अनदर, परमात्मा द सुप्रीम सेल्फ इति thus उदाहृतः is said, यः who
Loka of the universe, Trayam, the three divisions, Avishya, entering, Bibharti is maintaining, Avyayaha, inexhaustible, Ishvaraha, the Lord. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. The idea of this verse is very nicely expressed in the Katha Upanishad 2.2.13 and Shweta Shwetashvatara Upanishad 6.13. It is clearly stated there that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated, there is the Supreme Personality who is Paramatma. The Upanishadic verse runs as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The purport is that amongst all the living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one supreme living personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace, not others. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Shah. Thanks so much. Yeah. Okay, any thoughts?
What is perfect peace, Prabhu? Like what these like yoga sannyasis and all do? Like
Perfect. Okay. Do you know the peace formula?
no.
Who knows peace formula here? I told you before also, you should know also, but who knows the peace formula?
Oh, the Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam
Yes.
Sarvaloka Maheshwara.
Which chapter?
5-point last verse, Prabhu.
29, yes.
20.
So yeah, 5.29 is called the peace formula. Bhoktaram Jigte Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mrchati. Shanti means peace. One who knows this becomes very peaceful. What? Bhoktaram Yajja Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva. One who knows that I am what? Bhoktaram and the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Yajja, master of all, enjoyer of everything. Master of enjoyment, everything. Yajna means master of all sacrifices. And the culmination, the goal of all austerity. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, I am the master of entire all universes. Maheshwaram. Suhridam, I am the greatest benefactor, best well-wishing friend of everyone. Sarvabhutan, or not Sarvabhutanam. One knows this, become very peaceful. One knows basically Bhagavan, one become very peaceful. Does it make sense? So Bhagavan, he is in control.
Yeah.
Make sense? 5.29.
Yes.
So Prabhu is talking about that particular part here.
Okay.
To is right? Why worry when there is
Hari.
Hari? Why worry when there is Hari? So yeah, okay. So let's go to the verse. Two basically means but. But basically means that of course there's a distinction being made from the previous one. Okay. So two ways. So previous was talked about Akshara. Akshara basically means is a Brahman, right? Akshar Brahman. So Chavi Thakur says that previous was talking about Gyanis, Brahman. You're talking about Paramatma, yogis. That's why we mentioned here. Of course, there are two different worshippers, that means two different objects of worship also. So Uttama Purushastu Anya. But he means other, the reason that two delineations were made in the previous verse is because of this verse here. But the two to hai. But there is another Anya Purusha, and the Purusha is Uttama. That different from the other two conceptions. And this is person and Uttama. And what is the person called as? Udahrita. Iti Udahrita means it's called as what? Paramatma. Beyond these two, there's another personality Paramatma. And what does the Paramatma do? Yeah, the person Lokatrayam Avishya enters. Lokatrayam, three words, three Jagat. Three Jagat. Lokatrayam. And Bibharti protects or maintains. Abhya Ishvara. But the entire world, and that Paramatma is Abhya, non-changing. Ishvara is the controller. Right? So a conditioned jiva, how is being different? A conditioned living entity in the material world cannot be in a position of supporting or protecting the world. Impossible. Okay? So different from jiva. How is it different from the liberated entities in the spiritual world? Because those living entities have no connection with the material world. Does that make sense? So Paramatma is above that, because he's a controller also and has the capability, you would say, of control of the material world, and also has connection with material world, taking charge of the material world. Does that make sense?
He basically creates and maintains, right?
Yes, creates and maintains, and destroys also. Actually, everything.
No, when you said the connection is in him maintaining, and connection is in him creating, right?
Connection means he enters the material universe. The liberated is in the spiritual world doesn't. There are no connection. देखो पता ही नहीं है कुछ ऐसा है करके.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, Prabhu.
The liberated jiva, because it has devoid of connection with the material world, doesn't know. But Paramatma is about them. The Paramatma knows both. Liberated भी है, material world भी है, and also takes control of the protects the entire universe, material universes. In that way, it's top at both of them. Does that make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, okay. Papa says here, Nityana means those who are eternal may, among the eternals, of the eternals, Nitya is eternal, top eternal. Chetana, those who are living, among the living, of the living, he is the best, topmost. So, Nityanam, Chetananam. Okay? But amongst all living entities, both conditioned and liberated, this one supreme living entity or personality, Shiva Bhagwan. Okay? Or Paramatma, we could say also. Who maintains them and gives them all facility of enjoyment according to different work. And the entire work or entire, gamut of Paramatma is very beautifully explained in the Paramatma Sandarbha Shri Jiva Goswami. Every aspect of Paramatma will mention. Paramatma and Jiva, the relation, what Paramatma do, Paramatma in the material world, सब कुछ, all the angle, everything, ऊपर नीचे आगे पीछे, ऊपर सब कुछ, everything is covered in Paramatma Sandarbha by Shri Jiva Goswami. And where
What
Bhagavan exists,
Sandarbha, Prabhu?
Paramatma Sandarbha.
Paramatma Sandarbha.
Yeah. Then if Bhagavan exists here, तो they have a form, it's a transcendental form, a material form, they have energies. All these things will be covered in Bhagavad Sandarbha, Chakra Sandarbha. These two sandarbhas, everything is covered in that. Uh, okay. And the Bhagavan is from Paramatma situated in everyone's heart. So how many Paramatmas?
One.
Wanna guess again?
Very tricky question, Prabhu.
Wanna guess again? Vriksha.
How many Paramatmas is the question, right? There is one next to our heart.
I think it's one, Prabhu.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how many?
Lock
Okay,
किया जाए.
Three?
Depends how you see it.
अरे,
The Paramatma, the entire material manifestation is whom? Paramatma basically means that which controls, without which one can't function. The entire material universe
Or the three forms of
Mahavishnu,
Vishnu, are you saying that as a...
Karanodakasha Vishnu.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shirodakasha.
Karanodakasha Vishnu,
Yes, first
Kshirodakasha
Paramatma, the entire
Vishnu,
universe. Of Paramatma was the entire, of the entire cosmic manifestation. Of the entire universe, one universe का Paramatma कौन है?
Garbhodakasha.
Gaudaksha Vishnu. And Shivodaksha Vishnu is Paramatma and all living being, living entities, individual entities. Three, all the three Purusha avatars are three Paramatmas, you could say, of the different scope. Change the scope. Okay? So that's what the three.
Prabhu, who says this, Prabhu? Did you say Hari sir? No. Who says this? No, like there are three Paramatmas. This in Jiva Goswami's Tattva Paramatma Sandarbha.
No, he quotes that there, but this is mentioned in Purana also.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, it's mentioned.
okay.
In Lagu Bhagavatam, it also is mentioned. After he quotes some different Puranas, when Shastras, but yeah, mentioned. This very no. Okay, the two, and so when I read this, Lokatrayam Avishya, I remembered a verse. Lokatrayam means three planets, Bhu, Swaha, right? Three. So when I read this, I remembered one verse. I should sort of sharing. Let's see if we can.
Prabhu, what does Chetanam mean?
Chetananam means of the conscious entities.
Most conscious of the conscious
The
entities.
top, yeah. So Buddha,
Pinnacle.
just like of the stars and the moon.
Yes.
Nakshatranam,
No, I was
conscious,
wondering about how do you transfer Chetana, consciousness?
conscious of all. He's the top, best, top conscious.
Okay, Prabhu.
Basic boy is saying that it's not just light. There is a conscious person behind that.
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is in okay. I just remember this. This is the four special characteristics of Sri Krishna. Okay, this comes in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, but it's so beautiful verse. एक और there's one more verse. What Krishna's how Krishna full is this okay? Krishna full attract. Give this one. सर्वाभूत चमत्कार लीला कल्लोल वारिधि अतुल्य मधुर प्रेम मंडित प्रिय मंडल त्रिजगन मैसाकृषि मुरली कलपूजिता असमानूर्ध्व रूप श्री विस्मापित चराचर. This talks about the four special characters of Shri Krishna. सर्व अद्भुत चमत्कार लीला कल्लोल वारिधि. Leela. सर्व अद्भुत चमत्कार. The most wonderful, most magnificent, most wonderful. Leela. Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priyamandala. His associates. So this is Leela Madhuri, Prema Madhuri. Okay. Three Jagan Manasa Krashi Murli Kalakujita. How is this flute? Kalakujita. Three Jagan Manasa Krashi. It can attract the entire three worlds. This flute. This is Murli. This is Venu Madhuri. Asaman Urdhva. Asaman Aurdhva. Rupashri. Asaman means no equal. No urdhva. Asaman, na urdhva means no one equal, no one on the top. Rupashri. His beauty is unmatched, unparalleled, not even same, different, not the one. Vismapati charachara, who can bewilder, who can mesmerize the entire living and non-living being. Chara, achara. When I just thought of that three lokatrayam, I thought of three Jagan, again the three worlds. Manasagarashi. This is in the comes from Bhakti Rasam Sindhu in the second ocean. Maybe around starts around 40s, 30s, 40s verse. It starts. this particular, and then it goes again. To sort of Prabhupada quotes, yeah, small, 3 words, yeah. Anyway, that's what sharing that I just remember that. Okay.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any questions? Anything on this verse? The 2 verses of Sambandha. The first verse is where there are 2 categories of people in the mentioned in the Vedas on the material world. They are all both good, but there is a third personality who's beyond these 2, the best among all these 2. Uttama Purushastu Anya Paramatmeti Udaharta. Okay. Next, what is the next verse? 18th verse. Would you like to read?
I can read, Prabhu. Oh, Viji, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, Anita.
Okay. 18th. यस्मात् क्षरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च pratitah purushottamah. Yasmat, because ksharam, to the fallible, atitah, transcendental, aham, I am, aksharat, beyond the infallible, api, also, cha, and, uttamaha, the best, ataha, therefore, asmi, I am, loke, in the world, vede, in the Vedic literature, cha, and, pratitah, celebrated, purusha uttama, as the supreme personality. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. No one can surpass the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now, it is clear here that the living entities and the supreme personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the supreme personality of Godhead. It is incorrect to think of the Supreme Lord and the living entity as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always the question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Loke, 1 minute, Meenu. The word Loke signifies in the Paurushagama, the Smriti scriptures. The word loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, the Smriti scriptures. As confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary, lokyate vedhartho anena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas, Chandogya Upanishad 8.12.3. Tavad esha samprasado asmak charirat समुताय परम ज्योतिरूपं सम्पद्यस्वेन रूपेणाभिनिष्पद्यते स उत्तमपुरुषः. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahmajyotir. Then in his form he remains in his spiritual identity. That supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you so much. Wow, this is a huge commentary by Shri Chakri Thakur. Let's see, we'll go through that once we do this. Okay. Any thoughts on this?
I'm confused with whatever is talked about from the Chandogya Upanishad, Prabhu. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahmajyotir. Then, in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That supreme is called the Supreme Personality.
Prabhupada answered it very, I think, dumb it down. So he says the Atma the object of, so I'm just reading translation by Shivadev Bhushan, or Chavi Thakur actually. Yeah, Shivadev Bhushan, yeah. The Atma, the object of mercy, rising from his body, attains supreme light, supreme person. So basically, the supreme light mentioned here. Param Jyoti Rupam, right? They are attained by the mercy of Paramatma. So this verse basically saying that um, the Paramatma and Brahman, they're not different basically. So even if we even reach Paramatma, actually even reach Brahman, in the mercy of Paramatma. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Hmm. So it basically, if you see the last word, so Uttama Purusha, that Uttama Purusha, they're giving definition of Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. Okay, how Uttama Purusha is being defined. So Krishna is explaining the meaning of Purushottam. And by giving the explanation of Purushottam, he's explaining his own true nature. Uttam means excellent. Okay? And Loki here, with the word here, the word here. Loki. Okay, Loki means can mean the Smritis written by people, or Loka also means the previous the 16th verse we read, remember that by which one thing can be known, Vedas also. So in the Vedas and in the Smritis, Purushottam is glorified. And this, let me just explain it nicely. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So let me. Okay. So it says that Tavad means then at that time. Okay. Tavad. At that time, what happened? Esha. This. So some prasada can also mean क्या बोलते हैं a serene self or very peaceful. Okay. Because all these Upanishads are written in very very terse, very, how would say that, compact. Okay. So is it when the triangles are when the peaceful self, basically here the individual self, okay, having asmat from sharira matlab from sharir se, from the body, samutha having arisen. So when this tranquil self having arisen from this body, okay, samuthaya means having arisen from the body, okay, and then what happens? Sampadya. Sampadya means have attained what? Param Jyoti Rupam, supreme light. Does it make sense? Is it clear till now? Tavad, at that time, this Esha, with this nearby, this serene self, some prasadaha, this peaceful self, peaceful living entity, having arisen from this body, asmat sharirat samuthaya, then sampadya reaches what? Param Jyoti Rupam, attains the supreme light. Okay? Does it make
Yeah,
sense?
Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. Then what is abhinishpadyate? Abhinishpadyate is therefore rupena abhinishpadyate. By this form, they having attained, it becomes fully manifest in one's own true nature. Okay.
Yeah,
So
he
different
becomes
in
fully
different.
manifest in his own spiritual identity.
Yes. So basically, we're saying it can so different school can do interpretation. It can mean Advaita can say that this is realization of the identity with Brahman.
Right.
Okay. In Gaudiya Vaishnava, Advaita interpretations, again, the liberated jiva manifests its own pure constitutional nature by realizing and serving the supreme person.
Hmm.
So what is supreme light? Talking about that, talking about it, supreme light क्या है? The supreme light, Purushottama, Uttama Purusha. If you see in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, at the very last, you see, by incarnating himself as Satyavati and Parashar, he explains Vedic knowledge, right? So this particular mentions of that having arisen from the body, attaining supreme light. Shri Bhagavad Bhushan says that the supreme light attained by mercy is the Paramatma. The supreme light is not the light which we are talking about. Here it means Paramatma. So one attains Paramatma after having realizing who Paramatma is, who Jiva is, and relationship between both. The yogis attain the Paramatma. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it's just a different interpretation. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, different interpretation. Param Jyoti Rupam. Rupam also means form.
Form. Yeah.
The form of supreme light. That means Paramatma also you can understand that way. Does it make sense?
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the words. Okay, Yasmat Aksharam Aditoyam. So, okay, we have so much to. Thakur given nice commentary on this. A long, really long one. I don't know how much we can talk. Let's see. Okay. So, Shri Thakur says that in the first verse, Brahma was talked about. The best verse after that, the 17th verse, yogis were talked about. Okay. Now, Bhagavan starts talking about the object of the devotees. Object of worship of devotees as Bhagavan. Right? So, it says Yasmat, because Ksharam Atitoham. Atita means beyond, Atita Guna Sundari. Transcendental. That Sundari, that beautiful person who is endowed with Atita Guna, transcendental qualities. Okay? Shri Radha Singh. So,
Hari
Yasmat
Bol.
Ksharam.
Aarti Mataji.
Yes. This is Atita Guna Sundari. So, Yasmat Ksharam, because Yasmat Atita Aham. I am beyond transcendental to Kshara, the conditioned living beings, and Akshara even the Akshara. The Akshara can mean two. Akshara can also mean the liberative entities. Akshara can also mean Brahman. Does that make sense? So Krishna is establishing his position in this particular verse. Okay? Yes, Mark Sharam. Sharam is Jiva. Krishna, I am superior to the Jiva. Akshara even superior to the liberative entities. Akshara. Also, Akshara means Brahman. And superior even to the Brahman. And Api means here Paramatma. Does this make sense? Interpretation. So Krishna is talking about how he is the source of the Jiva, of course, parts. So source of Brahman and source of Paramatma. So in the Bhagavatam verse, what is the verse? It talks about these three.
Brahmiti Paramati. Parama.
Vadanti tat
Vadanti
tattvavidas tattvam
Tattvavidas.
yajnanam advayam. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwan iti shabdate. So advayam means not two, one. So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, they're all one. But still they have three names. So is like, for example, let's say, let's say there's a concert going on. Okay? Or concert here, या फिर it's a concert of maybe musical concert, instrumental or vocal, for example. The person singing, for example, say singing, there are many singers here. So let's say singing. A person singing well, for some raga or some beam person, for some raga is singing. Okay? Intricate, nice ornamentation, Gammakas, everything is mentioned. And the big audience. An audience who has some knowledge of music. They say, अरे देखा वो सरगम लगा देखा oh वाह वाह क्या है. The person can realize, a person who's dumb like me is like, क्या क्या पता है क्या? कुछ पता नहीं. Okay? So the same concept, advayam, same concept, same person singing the exact same thing, but depending on the qualifications, the eligibility of the person sitting in the audience, they will see the same thing as different. मन में अंडरस्टैंड, अरे हाँ अच्छा ठीक है, सब अरे वो क्या खाया, वो उसके ऊपर गया नीचे आया, whatever, right? Same concept, same musical, same tattva is going on, but people with different eligibility, different understanding perceive it differently. So Advayam, Brahma, they're all the same, but the realization is a hierarchy realization. If you see a mountain with very far, we'll see a क्या है, green color. When you close near, अरे पेड़ भी है, तो अंदर पेड़ है, अच्छा मुझे लग, when you go even closer, you find people also there. This is same mountain, but depending on how close you are, you will see a different view. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Okay, so Krishna is saying here, and this again is starting of almost the end of, sorry, starting of Bhagavad Sundarbha. This is talked about very nicely, and even in the middle of Tata Sandarbha, Shijiva talks about this, about Brahman, Paramatma, everything systematically. So it's saying Yasmat Ksharam Atita, Aksharar Atita, Api Atita, matlab even Brahman, when translated superior to all these three, the form of Bhagavan. So Krishna is explaining that as Bhagavan, he is denoting the supreme excellence of his own Swarupa as Krishna by using the name what? Patitaha Purushottama. So we are Purusha avatars. We are Purusha, right? All three Purusha avatars. I'm Purushottama, and I'm the best among even the Purusha avatars. Purushottama. So he's denoting his own, he's describing the extent of his own Swarupa by using the term Purushottama for himself. Okay, and saying that I'm superior to all. Superior in the sense what? In terms of realization. As Tattva, there are one. But as realization, he's the best. Where he said this before also. Where? Last verse of 6th chapter. Who is last verse? Very famous verse. Last verse of 6th chapter, last verse.
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां
Pakad.
मद्गतेर् अन्तरात्मनः श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः.
Explain the verse.
Of all the yogis, the best one, Yoginam api
No, tell me
sarvesham.
proper word by word.
Oh, word by word.
You should know word by word. English translation क्या बोलूं?
Yeah, Prabhu. 1 minute.
Yogi naam, yogiyo mein. Because the previous verse he talked about many other yogis. Yogi of all yogis api, sarvesham, the best. Huh? Who is what? Who is the best? Mad gatena anta atmana, who makes absorbing mind in me. Mad gatena, who makes me as the goal and makes me absorb the mind atman in me. Okay? Then Shraddham bhajate yo mam. Shraddhavan, Shraddha se bhajate, worships me. Okay? Yo mam, यह जो that person who does मद्गतना अंतरात्मना शतम भजते किसको, मेरे को, me, नाम संयुक्त में होता, that person is युक्ततमा, the best of the yogis. Mam is by me, no, by not by me, mam. I consider them the best of yogis, युक्ततमा. Does it make sense? So Krishna only told of all the yogis, of the Jnana yogis, of the Ashtanga yogis, the Bhakti yogis, who is the best? Observed by his mind in me. भजते, वो भजन कौन करता है? भक्त. भक्त does भजन. Okay? They consider as the best. Does it make sense? Okay? From the difference in the worshipper, one can conclude the difference in the worshipable object. Okay? So that's why Krishna is saying here, Chakri Thakur mentions that he explained that he is superior to all the forms of Bhagavan. How? From Bhagavatam verse. Ete cha amshah कलह पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं. Okay, is it clear till now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anyone else? Any questions? समझ नहीं आ रहा है. Bouncer, Yorker, whatever. Okay.
Random Prabhu, it is a heavy philosophy.
गीता है तो हो गई. भागवत तो बात अलग है.
Yeah.
So do you, I think what difference between Bhagavatam? I think did I say this before? No. Difference between Gita and Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has the exact same principles as Gita.
I think you said
You
it
said
has
last time.
pastimes. It has pastimes.
तो गीता मतलब थोड़ा we can make it very rational also, but sometimes tattva is also required. But you need that kind of not मैं बस की बात नहीं, but you can, if you have that kind of devotees who can make, you can wonderful amras of Gita. ऐसे भी लोग हैं, but I'm not that category unfortunately. But yeah, you need some kind of philosophy चाहिए. But Bhagavan is making clear, is to make others clear, to make our clear, make clear our understanding as well, that we getting a chance to worship Bhagavan not as Paramatma, not as Brahman, but as Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the person who is a very form of rasa, who can reciprocate. Paramatma doesn't reciprocate, hardly reciprocates Paramatma. Bhagavan तो छोड़ ही दो, कुछ है ही नहीं. Bhagavan devoid of all potencies is Brahman. Bhagavan conceived with potencies with regard to material world is Paramatma. Bhagavan in full potency unleashed. No, or that is full potency and so absolute truth in full potency unleashed is Bhagavan. And everything is Akhil Rasamrita Murti, the very form of rasa. Right? So we get a chance to serve and worship with Bhagavan is of utmost fortune. That's the point which I'm driving. He is superior to Brahman, Paramatma, in terms that their rigorous process of attaining them, Brahman and Paramatma. We don't have to go through that. Bhagavan made it very easy. Okay? So now, continuing, Chakri Thakur writes further, though this Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, they're all Sachidananda. There's no difference. Swarupa Dvaya Abhavat. Swarupa Dvaya, Swarupa means in form, Dvaya Abhavat. Abhava means absence of duality in the Swarupa. But there is a Swarup because the sadhana of the yogi is different. Sadhana of a yoga, of a jnana is different, and sadhana of a bhakti is different. And depending on kind of that sadhana, you'll get the type of sadhya, means the goal, right? So the result of jnana yogi is what? Jnana and yoga is what? Liberation. But what is the goal of bhakti? It's not
Krishna
because not just
Prem.
liberation. Huh?
Krishna Prem.
Prem, love of Bhagavan. When you love Bhagavan, liberation is side product, byproduct. And even without bhakti, with a tinge of bhakti, a jnani and yogi also cannot get the result. This is detailed in Madhurya Kadambini. We'll be reading in the morning readings. Madhurya Kadambini. Thakur will delineate how without bhakti, even a jnani and yogi cannot get the result which they want. Okay? And to be getting 10-15 ho gaya, we can continue from here. Imagine Bhagavatam also. We can go through detailing nice commentary by Vishwanath Thakur. Very, very nice. So we'll read through Vishwanath Thakur's commentary and understand detail about this verse and much more. Bhagavatam verse here and there, we'll jump around. Okay?
Just a
Yes.
question, Prabhuji. This Satyavati is the same Satyavati Shantanu Maharaj's.
Yes,
Right?
Matsya Gandha.
Oh. Oh,
So Satyavati and Parashar Muni, from them, who was born?
Vyasadeva.
And Vasudeva is who? Vasudeva in the commentary is said here, which Papa told me the purport, but the verse I'll tell you. The verse, sorry, यहाँ पे. Okay. हाँ, तेर विज्ञापित कार्यस्तु भगवान पुरुषोत्तम, that भगवान पुरुषोत्तम
Hmm.
अवतीर्णो महायोगी सत्यवत्याम पराशरात. That Bhagwan Avatirna took appearance incarnated as Vyasdev. So Vyasdev is incarnation of Bhagwan.
Ah.
But this Vyasdev, okay, not all Vyasdev. This Vyasdev. The next Vyasdev is going to be Ashwathama. It's not Bhagwan's incarnation.
Oh.
But this Vyasdev is just like of all entire day of Brahma, Bhagwan comes once. Like this Vyasdev, Bhagwan coming as Vyasdev, doesn't happen every time. Different jivas being empowered to become Vyas. This Vyas which we had in the previous Dwapara Yuga was Bhagwan incarnation. That is
Oh.
one of the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam or of literature, especially literature. So Ved Vyas incarnation of Bhagwan in his Samadhi is in Bhagavatam. तो क्या होगा भागवतम? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Prabhu, what's the verse that says Vyasadeva is an incarnation of Bhagavan? You just quoted a verse.
Skanda Purana.
Skanda Purana. Okay.
तैर विज्ञापित कार्यस्तु भगवान पुरुषोत्तम. To delineate, to explain, Avatirna is incarnate, appeared as Mahayogi. Satyavatyam, Satyavatya means in Satyavati. Satyami, in Satyavati, Parashat, from Parashar Muni.
Ashrat.
In Satyavati
Okay.
to Parashar. From Parashar Muni.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Maybe in the next session we'll finish, maybe, I don't know, finish chapter number 15. We'll have 3 more chapters. Go ahead. Okay. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Vanchakapati Krishna, Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha, Paritana Pavanebhyo, Vaishvabhyo Namo Vantukita Vaishvandi ki jai, Shiva Bhagavad ki jai, Shiva Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, wonderful evening,
Hare Krishna.
week.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna,
much,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you.